What's going on, everybody? Eric Lindquist at Stochastic here on the Odd Chopper channel, coming in with the end of week Friday edition of MLB Lindy's Lean Likes and Locks. Hit that like button, subscribe button, notification bell goes a long way for me on this video, goes a long way for you. That way you become a prize whenever great content is going live here at our little neck of the YouTube woods. Great content. I don't know, went 3-0 on this video for you here. I'm recording this at halftime of the Washington Green Bay game. In fact, I had to go closed iPad. That's how, just paying attention. But right before 10 p.m. Eastern time, 7 p.m. Pacific, I'm going to be recording this. Hopefully, Yohan Moncada hits a home run here for the premium Discord. The only home run bet I ended up on the entire day. It was an awful home run board, but I think our luck has changed a little bit here heading into Friday. I'll talk about that with my last play for sure. But just to recap for you here on this program, and well, Premium Discord could have been an absolute Hulk slam if it wasn't for a couple of unfortunate runouts. Jonathan India striking out twice against Gavin Williams. How could you? Had the under the 4.5s there. He gets to 6. That was painful. But then the hook on Ryan Weathers, who said they could throw from 80 to 85 pitches, thought we had a Hulk slam. Goes 5 clean, but didn't get a strikeout the last 3 innings after having 4 through 2. He ends up not cashing that. I think it was like maybe 2 and a third he had 4. But anyway, he had 4 for sure going into the 4th because I started watching then, waiting for that last one. 6 outs of nothingness there and doesn't come through. But we got some stuff going on here in the NFL streets. Obviously, Jaden Reed under 3.5 receptions. That cashed. Obviously, I never like to see somebody get hurt. That's not part of the analysis, but it is part of the range of outcomes of something that can happen. Didn't think he was going to get many snaps as is. He had that amazing catch that ended up getting called back for the touchdown. But overall, we cashed that ticket immediately. We cashed the Tampa and Chicago White Sox under. And of course, Philly down 4-0 in the first. And Jesus Luzardo nutted up and shut it up. So that was beautiful stuff. You know what else? I should probably take some of that advice myself. Be like Lindy. Join Tails today. We got ourselves an awesome experience over at Tails right now. Head to tails.bet. Take a look around. But you can also go to the video description box below. If you're looking at doing what I do, there are paths, there are avenues, there are ways, my friends. Go ahead, sign up. The second link down there. First link will be the premium Discord and probably always will be, but I'm going to have an amazing NFL offer going for that Discord tomorrow. I love you tomorrow. It's only a day away in the NFL streets. It's going to be on the NFL video exclusively. So if you are looking at a deal to jump into the premium Discord, save yourself a little moolah. Check out the NFL video for tomorrow. But that's Eitan Chander, who his daily hammers and parlays have just been buoying everybody. I mean, booyah, all that stuff. And Greg Ehrenberg in the futures market talked about him quite a bit. But all of us are together in the Lindy and Friends Discord at Tails. But there's a ton of free goodness over at the Tails Expert Picks page. Check it all out. Let's get ourselves to the play, shall we? All righty. Yeah, I mean, I hope we end up having a decently profitable day because it started amazingly. Vinny Pasquantino goes yard. That was helpful. Again, ended up betting his 1.5 hits plus runs plus RBIs. I didn't bet a homer there. That would have been extremely useful. But overall, I'm not going to complain. I felt really good about the reads and also felt really good about the analysis. Let's try to run that portion of it back. The stuff we can control, shall we? Because I can't play the freaking game for people. And obviously, I don't like seeing Jaden Reed get hurt, even as a Viking fan. Like, I've always thought he was explosive and a fun player, but wasn't going to play a lot of snaps as is. Anyway, enough about football. Let's get into the MLB streets. Almost forgot. This is the wrong slide. Here we go. Slide to the left. Rays taking on the Cubs. I'm not going to redo that. Rays taking on the Cubs under 7.5. It is not pretty hitting weather. And then you get Shane Baz reverse splits. You get Matthew Boyd lefty and gets to go up against a Tampa Bay team that outside of Junior Caminero, Yandy Diaz, and Christopher Morel, who will probably be in that lineup against a lefty. Not a lot to offer at the table there. You're going to get 9-hole Chandler Simpson more than likely. Simpsons. You also got, Christian Gray. Mr. Gray. I don't know. Now I'm thinking 50 Shades of Gray. That's not a great reference. Pasquantino, 1.5 hits plus runs plus RBIs. 5-2 betting this guy individually on the hits plus runs plus RBIs this season. Also, pick'em cards. I don't know how many pick'em cards he's been in, but he's been in a lot of them with that number. The reason that I go to the 1.5 hits plus runs plus RBIs is because I find the hits to be a little bit undervalued. I find the runs to be a little bit undervalued. I find the RBIs to be a little bit undervalued. And when you look at those individual pieces, the best way to kind of skew through the variance is keep betting the thing that encapsulates all of it together now, birds of a feather. Now, the only thing that doesn't help you out is getting hit by a pitch and walked. I mean, a walk can turn into the run, but Vinny Pasquantino with the insurance of Bobby Witt Jr., who also struck out against Gavin Williams. F you, Bobby Witt Jr. Not even hitting 300. He's washed. Jerk. I need to go watch this football game. What am I talking about? I need to hurry up. Yeah, halftime, just after halftime here. Looks like they are punting. Great. Awesome possession. Great job, guys. Right off the hat. Right out the half. I didn't end up on Washington. I thought about it. Then I kept living my life. But yeah, the Phillies, this is an interesting one purely because you get Walker Buehler out there and Trevor Lorenzen. I mean, the over stands out in a big way too, but Vinny Pasquantino, I know Walker Buehler's been bad against lefties and righties and everybody. Not sure really what the Phillies thought that they were going to do with him, but hey, man, try to piece it together here. You get to the postseason, he can maybe be useful for an inning or two. That's what he did for the Dodgers last year after being lit up earlier on, became a bullpen arm that kind of steadfast in the World Series. Actually had the closing out, for those who remember. Do you know ball? I know ball. Under 7.5, this one is not very fun. We get Rogers versus Bassett. It's fun if you like pitching, and I do like pitching, but under 7.5, not going to be finding a lot of bats to really entertain or talk about. Trevor Rogers has just been so damn good. Mr. Rogers' neighborhood is not in Toronto, but yeah, it's going to be a worse ballpark for him with the righty power in Toronto, and yet it still looks all right. Chris Bassett, Kevin Gausman, absolute gem. Complete game, just nutty today. Absolutely nutty against Houston. Cleveland -1, White Sox in Cleveland. And the main reason the -1 is standing out for me is you get that push on the number, push light. It's great. But I don't like Martin Perez. He was never good at any point, really, whether it was with my Twins or the Rangers or the Pirates or wherever he's been. Now he's with the White Sox. Cool, good times. 502 expected slugging, 16.5% barrel percentage. But the reason this is not on the card, and I really thought about it for a long time, Tanner Bybee, he has to deal with some lefties, and the White Sox have them. Colson Montgomery, probably going to be an autoplay if it's north of +400. Probably going to be an autoplay. Progressive Field plays up for lefty power. Tanner Bybee, one thing that he does run into from time to time, although, even though he's got the lower strikeout rate, 37.4% hard hit is pretty darn good. You know, just hits it hard all the time, though. Colson Montgomery. Sandy K-Ladder, we get Tarek Skubal versus Sandy Alcantara. It's going to be a fun one, especially this version of Sandy, the one that we've been backing in the strikeout department the last couple, and he's just looked much, much better. I thought that things might get better. You just saw a strikeout spectacular there by Cam Schlittler to start off that Yankee game. Did it end up going completely nutty? Got 7 strikeouts in 6 innings. Looked pretty good. I had some of that on in the corner while working through some of this. But Sandy, where are my Grease fans at? Sandy K. Ladder is just one that you got to be a little bit careful. I need the right Detroit iteration of that lineup showing up. What's going on there? Okay, I thought it was a touchdown alert. It wasn't yet. Yankees taking on Boston. Boston's stolen base props. Yeah, this is going to be a fun series, especially because both teams have everything to be playing for here as we get into October. And you got Giolito on one side. I think you get Luis Gil on the other. And this is one of those games where the Yankees don't have anything announced, but it matches up to be Gil's spot. And if you get Luis Gil on the mound, you have to be taking note of who the catcher is going to be on the side of it, because there are so many different versions where Luis Gil, he gets a lot of walks that he's going to be allowing. He allows a lot of them walks, but there's also defensive issues that you have from time to time because he's been really good at avoiding runners over the course of his big league career, but only one caught stolen in 4 years in the big leagues. It's wild. Only 6 stolen base attempts against him, but the base runners that he disallows are mainly by way of pickoff throws. So really good move, but I don't know if you get an opportunity here, especially if you get Ben Rice back there as catcher. I'm going to have to take advantage of that. I think there's a chance we get the Ben Rice catching one, and I haven't been pulling the trigger on this yet. He's been all right to some extent. Again, you look at his catching stuff. Blocks have been all right. The framing's been all right, but catching, stealing, man, I really need to see Ben Rice for it. He's -1 in that department so far this season. If you've been paying attention, he's got 2 cats stolen so far, but 12 stolen base attempts, 10 he's allowed. These are things you're paying attention to in the shadows. In the shadow. Oh, wait, shallow. That's shallow. Star is born. Didn't see that one coming. Pittsburgh taking on Washington. Almost forgot. I literally skipped this game earlier when I was breaking it down because, well, it's Pittsburgh and Washington in the year of our Lord 2025. We'll say Washington did everything that I would want them to do to a certain extent, other than strike out 5 times against Weathers. Not necessarily their fault. We went sub 70 pitches, even though they said 80 to 85. Oh, yeah, teams lie from time to time. That's a bummer. That's why we practice good unit allocation. But Pittsburgh taking on Washington, yeah. What do you even want me to say about this? It's comeback Keller versus Brad Lord. The Lord of what? I don't know. Not pitching. Not pitching. Atlanta, Houston taking on Atlanta here. Hot Atlanta, if you will. And there are a lot of ways where this game becomes appealing from a prop perspective. First one is that you get some gas can out there. But, I mean, Jason Alexander was just successful against Toronto. So up is down, left is right. I don't know. But Hurston Waldrep, 351 expected slug. He doesn't have that many good, like, his strikeout stuff has gone ballistic at the big league level. There is some negative regression. And I know the split finger has been an awesome pitch for him, throwing it a third of the time. And the results have been pretty darn good. But it's got to come back down to earth. If these numbers get too high on the Houston side, we just saw some really inflated numbers for the Cubs, even though the Cubs made me want to bash my head against a wall looking at the batter props there. Ugh, idiots. Oh, anyway, St. Louis taking on Milwaukee. Speaking of the NL Central, this will be a fun one. But what can we actually do? I mean, son of a priest, man. How many games can he pitch in where they just keep winning? I don't know. I don't know. Milwaukee -1. Ugh, yucky. Yuck. Mr. Liberatore? Mr. Palante? I think it's Mr. Palante here. Andre Palante should be pitching in this one. But he gets enough ground balls, 60.6% ground ball percentage. Really tough for me to want to go pick on anything there or try to make Milwaukee -1 a thing. Here's the disgusting one of the day. Colorado +1.5. I'm very interested in this. If you get Mr. JT Ginn being your pitcher here up against Tanner Gordon, I know Tanner Gordon isn't good, but whenever you pitch in Coors Field, you're not going to be all that good. And then you had decent stuff at the AAA level, like decent stuff, nothing great. But it's hard to pitch there in the PCL as is, the Pacific Coast League, because they play baseball on the moon in Albuquerque and Reno and all these elevated baseball stadiums. So you got like -300. I saw it was -300 at open. I got to assume they either expect a bullpen game or it'll be a very abbreviated start for Ginn, or not Ginn, sorry. Bringing up the other guy. JT Ginn is coming up later in our program for what it's worth. But ESPN had a couple of different listings from what you had over on MLB.com. So, yeah, this is just where my head just started spinning. And I just wanted to watch football. But here I am not watching football. JP Sears, that's who I was trying to think of. I knew it was that athletics guy that I just couldn't think the name of. He got acquired by San Diego, then sent down to AAA after one outing, and now he's back potentially. Yeah, we might want to attack that in some capacity, maybe a first 5 capacity. Angels +1.5. I hate this game. This is probably my least favorite one that exists on the board. I don't like Luis Castillo. And Yusei Kikuchi has kind of played himself into our hearts. We've kind of picked the right spots to attack him and back him over the course of this season. Overall, been pretty successful at it. 2 years ago, he's still goated for that streak, that awful streak he went on, where we could just absolutely bet against him every single time. But in Seattle, both of these teams, this should just be a stone-cold disaster. As for the last game here, Dodgers-Giants. This is the one I'm looking forward to the most. Kick my feet up, have a beer, and look at football, get my fantasy teams all in order, get ready to rock on Sunday. You'll be there. I'll be there. We'll all be there. Get some bets down for college football in the tail streets. Talk about that in a second. But Muncie home run, you get these +400 north of numbers in San Francisco. Against Justin Verlander, I have to entertain that. And I know that he just failed me back-to-back days, quarter unit each. He hits the +400 or better. Well, he's forgiven. All will be forgiven. I'm going to call it Into the Cove. Into the Cove we go, friends, but one more time. Once more into the breach, my dear friends. Be like Lindy, join Tails today, down at the link below. Plus, we got the Discord down there for you. Myself, Eitan Shander, myself, Greg Ehrenberg. That's the Lindy and Friends Discord. Would love to have you guys there. Come kick it. Have an awesome NFL promo coming up for you. So check out the NFL Lindies that I'm recording on Friday. So check that out. It should be up Friday evening for your consumption. All right, y'all. Let's get to the actual pick, shall we? Nice to go sweepy on Thursday for you on this video. I didn't go sweepy personally because I had a lot more in play. Sporadically you can go with this or you can go with that. Hasn't been the best pick'em week for me either. So, I mean, there's that. My bets have been all right. But yeah, Thursday on this video was absolutely prime nutties. Texas taking on the Mets. METS, Mets. Thank you for losing to Philly. We really needed that one. I like you very much. But this is Jacob deGrom going back to take on the Metsies. And on the other side, you get Jonah Tong, who pretty heralded guy, looks pretty good. Throwing a four-seamer 57.5% of the time, and then has a changeup that is not ideal to lefties. Just really not ideal to lefties. But I think we got to back Jacob deGrom here. I get a first five number right now at -115. You blindly do that every single day, ending in Y. You just do it with Jacob deGrom. Has he been normal Jacob deGrom, as in like the most dominant pitcher in baseball from 2 years ago, 3 years ago, before all the injuries? No. But he's still got a 289 xWOBA, 27.9% K rate. And while it looks pretty good for Jonah Tong, 324 xWOBA, 443 expected slugging, a little higher you might want, 26.1% K rate's really nice. I just don't think we have enough sample size on him to not attack him at an even type. I mean, you give me identical VIG, both sides of it. Come on, man. We have to be backing Jacob deGrom. It's just too straightforward. So do it, click it. We move along our merry way to my favorite play of the day. And then we're going to round out with some bombs. I can't wait. Arizona taking on Minnesota. And this one is just, I don't want to do it. I don't want to try to pick on my guy Pablo Lopez, 4 kids, and I got to take all that ass to showbiz, but he's back in our lives. I like him. You like him. He's had really good numbers this year, but he's not going to be long for this one. We don't have anything to play for. Absolutely nothing other than pride and cheese curds at the stadium. That's going to be what Minnesota's there for. But yeah, both of these pitchers just kind of set up to get rocked. Brandon Pfaadt on the other side, 11% barrel percentage, 369 xWOBA. You get him outdoors. It's not like perfect weather in Minnesota by any means, but Brandon Pfaadt is not good. He has not been good all season long, and he must pay for his sins. So we're going to take the lefties. We're going to look at Cody Clemens, Matt Wallner. I don't know if you knew Byron Buxton's pretty good at baseball. Trevor Larnach been pretty damn good at baseball. Not as good as Byron Buxton, obviously. We're starting to get Luke Keeschel and some of these other guys to come along for the ride. Royce Lewis. What you talking about, Lewis? He has an absolute, I mean, he's got a bat. Hits with that hammer. Sounds like I'm talking about something else. So we're going to move along our merry way. Over 8. Ended up playing this a little bit more VIG heavy than I would want. But you know what? Overall, I'm all right getting 8. 8.5 even money. Don't mind that whatsoever. But over 8, that's where I fired it. Premium Discord, you already got it. All right. One more play. Hit that like button for me. And sometimes on this program, I don't have fun. And I don't mean that I don't have fun, because I get to literally talk sports for a living. I bet sports for a living. I've been doing this for 8 years. Been doing content for just short of 5, or just over 5 now. Just over 5. Holy crap. But the whole purpose is that I felt like I had something to say. I had something to be helpful with, and that was being very good at math and finding a way to present it in a funny kind of characteristic, or in an annoying way, which is what some people let me know in the YouTube comments. You would never do that, right? Anyway, Cincy taking on the Athletics. And one of my favorite things to do is obviously give you the home runs, because over the course of the last few years, it's been exceptional. Lindy's long balls, I've been doing the short here, and on X at Eric Lindquist. That's where you can find me. Right there. At Eric Lindquist. You go follow me there, and I do Lindy's long balls, where I literally post 4, 5 home runs, usually most days. Sometimes it's 3. Today I didn't post at all because I didn't find anything until Yoan Moncada, and it felt useless to do it. So Friday, I'll have it up. I'll have it rocking. It'll be good to go. And, well, it's going to have 2 guys on it for sure, because I think my break-even numbers the entire year in this little Sacramento ballpark have been way lower than where the books have been posting them. You might have noticed. We've made some money here betting them, but when I say I don't always have fun on this program, I don't always give you the parlays, but one of the big runs we've gone on over the last month and a half was sparked by 2 home runs being listed in the Lindy's pick section. Julio Rodriguez, Randy Arozarena, both end up going yard, both end up making us lots of money. So you like the money is mine. But that was here. in this Sacramento ballpark, if you remember, Suter Park. I want to attack Brady Singer with the fury of 1,000 suns. He has a 195 expected ISO, 16-degree average launch angle, but not only that. One of my favorite things, and I'm going to give you a little bit of how the sausage is made. Pitchers will rely on a ground ball pitch when they face home run hitters in ballparks like this. They will throw it multiple times. You ever watch and you're like, why is he not getting a fastball? Oh, he's just throwing sinker, sinker, sinker. And then all of a sudden he walks the guy or something of that nature. Now, I can't do a lot when it comes to the walk department with certain guys. But another thing I've talked about routinely on this is what happens when somebody who doesn't have great strikeout stuff goes up against somebody who, overall strikes out a lot. That doesn't really apply here because we do have Brady Singer with a 24.7% K rate against lefties. But there's two of them that have just been incredible for the Athletics this year. One, is the Soder goat. Soderstrom, we've backed him so many times in hits plus runs plus RBIs because he ends up sandwiched around whether it's Thomas, Rooker, some of these righties that have just been going nuts. Obviously, Shea Langoliers, Bangoliers, as he's affectionately known. But 207 expected ISO for Soderstrom, 20 homers, but only the 7.4-degree launch angle. He needs a little bit of help to get it up. Pause. I guess I already paused. And of course, the other one is Nick Kurtz. Guys, Nick Kurtz is an absolute wagon. I have his break-even number inside of plus 200 tomorrow against Brady Singer, and that is totally accepting that he has a 30% K rate on the season, 28.5% K rate against right-handed pitching. But he's got a 14-degree launch, 24 homers against in just 295 plate appearances. So why don't we just hope Brady Singer has his bad stuff and gamble with them together? Nick Kurtz plus Tyler Soderstrom. Let's have some fun for once in my effing life. How about that? I'm going to play them individually more than likely too. But Kurtz home run plus Soderstrom home run plus 190 or better for Kurtz plus 310 or better for Tyler Soderstrom. Got it? Cool. Great, Grant. I'm just going to end the program now. And that does it for another edition of MLB Lindy's Leans, Likes, and Locks. Head to the comment section below. Let me know if you tailed on Thursday. Good stuff overall. Let's see. Matthew Golden did a thing. He did a thing. Okay. I'm going to go and watch the football here. Looks like nothing's happening. But anyway, that's going to do it here for Friday. Let's cash some tickets together. Obviously, I'll be in the premium Discord. It'll be great times. That is all. Oh, wait. Oh, I got to get a different thing going here. Until next time, friends, I'm Eric Lindquist. Best of luck in the MLB Straits on Friday. See you in the Discord. Bye.